This week's 2-for-1 movie reviews are The Departed and Wristcutters. I thought The Departed was a pretty good movie. The only real issue I had with it was that it kind of fell apart at the ending. I mean, the movie was very good through and through, but it wasn't like anything special. It was just your standard mob movie. And the twist was that everybody was a rat or something like that. It was very good, and I thought they were going to go in the direction of where we see Sergeant Sullivan have to come to grips with the fact that he's helping a very evil man and wondering if he actually is that evil. But that's really not the direction the movie went in. Instead, he kind of became an FBI informant. Costello did the bad guy, and he was more about protecting his own ass throughout the entire movie than he was actually trying to deal with the morality issues that I thought would have been a lot more interesting if they had explored those, which I thought they were going to. But just instead, in the end, everyone got killed. I mean, that was just hilarious, I thought. I mean, I know it wasn't supposed to be funny, but that's just the way that I found it. So, I mean, it was very hard to take the movie seriously in the last 15 minutes just because, I mean, everyone was getting shot in the head, and it was just ridiculous, I thought. And so for that, I'll give it 2.5 stars out of 5. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't that great either. I mean, if I was to score it on everything but the last 15 minutes, I'd probably give it 4 stars, but the last 15 minutes just ruined it for me. So that's my review of The Departed. Wristcutters was a very interesting movie. Very different. It's very weird, though. I mean, it wasn't exactly great. It wasn't really bad. I don't know what to think about it. I mean, the humor was very dark. It was mainly just trying to make fun of suicide. And a lot of people would call that tasteless, but I mean, this is about adult situations, and people should be able to take a joke. But I can see how some would find it incredibly tasteless, and it was at some points really tasteless. But it just had a decent plot to it, and I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I never laughed out loud at it, so it wasn't that funny. But it's kind of a darker humor, I guess. And it just seems like they didn't really explore. They were more exploring the love story part than they were of the fact that, I mean, they're dead and they live in this weird alternate world. And they didn't really explore that too much, which would have been, I thought, more interesting. But overall, I mean, it was a pretty decent movie for an independent movie, and I'm getting sick and tired of people also with this movie, which really made me upset. They're throwing in people from Arrested Development in like every movie now. And you had Job in this movie. He's only in it for a few minutes, but I know that they were trying to get people to watch it by throwing him in the previews, even though his role was only like, yeah, just a few minutes, like I said earlier. I think movies need to stop doing that. If you want to be a real like indie movie, could you please have actors that I have not seen all over the TV in other movies? Please. That's all that I ask for an independent movie. So, but overall, it was a decent movie. I'd probably give it the same score as The Departed, 2.5 stars out of 5. But I mean, that's just throughout the entire movie. So like the first part of The Departed is actually very good.